Perfect. So, a little bit late to the game. But, I mean, I did promise that I'd do a full day of eating before the bulk ended. And I already did one. So, it's a bright and early. Well, the clocks on the oven are still wrong. I haven't reset them. But it's bright and early noon on a Sunday. So, breakfast is going to be the remainder of this gallon of whole milk. I weighed it out, so I've got it on the food scale right now. So I weighed it out when it was, before I started drinking it, 960 grams. So once I actually finish it, I'll take off the weight of the bottle itself, find out how much milk that was, and then, do some quick math. And then I've got one of the 6-pack varieties of Krispy Kreme. So a normal one, fucking jelly filled, you get the idea. So this will be, I'm not even sure how many fucking grams of carbs. At least 120 or so. All the information's on the back. So this is the breakfast, meal number one. I'll add up all the macros. I'll keep a count either up here or up here somewhere. So this is how much protein it was. This is how many carbs, and this is how many fats. I don't think I'm going to do that extra animation sound every time, but it's kind of funny for the first one. But once I finish this, I'm going to take a little Pure Calf hostile caffeine capsule. Because before I do cardio, and even though this is noon, this is still when I'm waking up. Like, this is morning for me. I always like doing caffeine. Like, this would be the equivalent of, your morning coffee. And it's definitely going to make the cardio easy for you and just wake you up. But, I'll sit here for a couple more minutes, get these in, do the cardio, and then come back for whatever meal number two ends up being. I was at the gym for fucking ever. All I do is my 30 minutes of cardio, but classes haven't started yet. I'm not doing anything else. So that was just my fucking social hour. So I think I got there, I don't even know, maybe one or so. 30 minutes of cardio, but then fucking 2 hours of chatting. So that's a pretty long time to go without eating if you want to eat a fuck ton of food at once. So instead of just, eating nothing and waiting till I got back, I went up to the little snack bar or whatever. And I got 3 little things of Minute Maid lemonade. So 70 grams of carbs each. I was kind of surprised. So that's another 210 carbs plugged into the stupid simple macro tracker. So I think I'll probably eat one more time before the lift. I'll kind of want all this to settle down, but I cooked up a half pound of flank steak. When I bought, so I've been doing ribeyes. When I bought this, when I meant to text my dad to ask him, he does some kind of fucking Mediterranean, what's the fucking word I'm even thinking of? Marinade, yeah, but my fucking phone was dead when I was in the grocery store, so I don't have any fucking ingredients. So salt and pepper, high heat, olive oil, flipped over probably every minute or two until it feels right. It's perfect. So, I mean, if I cut into this fucker and it's blood right on the inside, I'll just throw it back on. And then 2 packs of, not just the cheap ass, Maruchan ramen, right? This is it's called Nissan Rao. And it's kind of fucked because it's $3 each compared to 25 cents for the Maruchan ramen. But, as opposed to just the protein, I want to get some fucking carbs in with my meals as well. So this will be probably about 50. I don't know. I'll look it up when I plug it in later. And then this is about 140-ish grams of carbs, 14 grams of fat. So I'll just fucking sit here for another 20 minutes, watch watch some TikToks, and then we can skip to what I'm gonna eat probably pre-workout. Or what? Do you want to sit here and watch me eat it? Maybe I'll get a little bit of a mid-meal clips for you. With the protein, I mean, I'm not particularly concerned. Oh yeah, we're good. With timing right now. Obviously, you want to hit your fucking gram per pound of body weight, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, it's kind of a bloody spot, but it doesn't really matter when you eat it. You're not going to feel full from eating fucking steak or protein. For me, the aspect of dieting that actually affects how I feel in the gym, which, to an extent is a pretty big fucking aspect of eating, right? If you're lifting, then apart from just staying alive, I think that's a prerequisite for all of us, but you're eating for the results that the type of food and the amount of food that you're eating is going to give you. Now, pre-workout, and I'm talking like hours beforehand, if you eat you could eat 500 grams of carbs 30 minutes before you lift, they're not really going to do anything for you. If anything, you're probably just going to fucking feel sick. But at least, well, I'd say over the course of the day before my lift, I think I'll probably lift in, I don't know, probably 8 or something. So I've got some time. I want to get in a bulking context at least half of the carbs that I'm going to eat throughout the whole day, just so I can be, not just have the carbs in my system, but actually have digested them, sent them out to my fucking muscles. Because that's what happens. Your fucking muscles have like glycogen stores. So anytime you drink fucking, a lemonade, you eat a bunch of Skittles, you eat some fucking rice or some bread, whatever, the carbs in a bulking context where you're eating in a surplus, right? For the most part, a good amount of them are going to get sent to your muscles. You're going to be nice and full and strong. You're going to get a fucking sick pump. Like, let's say I stop eating right now, and let's say I had no carbs from right now to 2 days from now. Let's say I did 2 days, zero carbs. I would still hit my protein, whatever. In those 2 days, my fucking muscles would shrink. They would literally fucking shrink because the carbs are what's keeping them full of fucking water and glycogen. So, I mean, when I jump onto the diet and I cut my calories from, whatever they're at now, I think 5-ish thousand down to fucking 2,500, initially I'm going to drop like probably 6 or so pounds within like 3 days. Now, that weight is not real. That's not 6 pounds of muscle. That's not 6 pounds of fat. That's just 6 pounds of intramuscular water and carbs, which is just kind of fluff weight. When you're bulked up, like let's say I did my bulk, or let's go way back in time to January when I started the bulk. Instantly, I shot up from, 230 to like 236, 238 in just like a week. I didn't gain it. You don't fucking gain 8 pounds of muscle in a week. That's not how this shit works. All that was carbs and water getting siphoned into my fucking muscles. Now, after a while of that, once you're pretty much as full as you can be of carbs, that's when your weight will change from just that rapid spike, from going from a dieted phase to a bulk phase, to a slow increase steadily over time. And that's really what you want. Like, for me to gain weight, I have to be very consistent. Like, if I had a day, like when I went to the Arnold earlier in March, I did not fucking eat enough food. I was going from, my 6,000 a day-ish, 5-ish thousand. The Arnold, I probably had fucking 1,500 just because I was walking around all day. We didn't prep any food. Really, I was just being irresponsible. But the next day, I literally dropped about 3 pounds, 3 or 4 pounds, just from one day of, not being fucking full. And, that's pretty much how drastic it is. So let's just scoop up some of this fucking, oh, holy fuck, it's hot. Well, oh, holy shit. All right, I gotta let this cool off a little longer. But let's cut to the next fucking meal. There we go. I did not end up eating another meal in between the last one and now. I just slammed the scoop of hostility and a scoop of bloodshot, doubling up, god damn it. But what was I about to say? Yeah, I fixed the fucking plastic underneath my car, dude. So I kind of fucked up the hood cover. I think I ran something over when I was on the highway a couple years ago, and it like dented my oil pan or something. And it was just like, fuck. I think that's when it started to get fucked up. And then I hit this fucking big ass raccoon. It put a huge dent in my bumper. I think that totally knocked all sorts of shit out of whack. But when I got home from the gym last night, I fucking just parked it, put the phone flashlight on, started folding stuff in on itself. So no more dragging along. That's the way to do it. So plan now is, I've got fucking 500 grams of carbs in the system. Actually, no, a little less. I forget how many. I've got like 4-something 100 grams of carbs pre-workout. I'm not going to really get much benefit out of more than that. That's about as much as I would want pre-workout in a bulking context. And by pre-workout, obviously I don't mean right before. I mean, cumulatively before the lift throughout the day. Just so I'm nice and full of carbs, full of energy, ready to throw some shit around. So, plan for back. I've kind of been laying off of bent over barbell rows, just because they're kind of like, they're a great movement for back, but they're very taxing. Because not only are you fucking, pulling hundreds of pounds of weight in a rowing fashion, right? Obviously, that's what we're trying to do here. It's a back day. But then you've also got to hold yourself up in a supported position. So I'm working my glutes, I'm working my lower back a lot, I'm working my hamstrings. So a hard set will be a lot more taxing on my whole system than, let's say a hard set of just chest supported rows somewhere. Because in a chest supported row, I don't have to fucking flex my hamstrings and my glutes, and I don't have to brace so hard. All I can focus on is the muscle that I'm trying to activate, my fucking back, and then go, pretty much as hard as possible. So, with back, I kind of do an even mix of rows and pull downs. I don't have like a lat focused day and then a trap mid back focused day. But some days I do a little bit more pull downs, lat focused stuff, and other days I do a little bit more rows. I just kind of like to diversify the training, but I don't really have it set in such a way that one lift is lat focused completely, and then the other lift is like trap focused. For me, I've kind of found that, well, I don't know, it's kind of weird with back. Because think about this, when you do chest, sure, you can do flat, you could do incline, you could do cables, you can do pec deck, all sorts of shit. But every movement is pretty much just working your pecs alone. Your pecs are just, your chest is one big ass fucking muscle, and every movement you're doing is pumping it up. But with back, you got your lats, probably the biggest one that everybody's talking about. Then you got your traps and your rhomboids. Let's just kind of count traps and rhomboids as a similar type deal. I know they do different shit. But, it's kind of interesting with back, even though it's a bunch of different muscles all in one spot, it kind of gets counted as just one muscle. So when I do back, or when I do chest or triceps or biceps, arbitrarily I pick 11 sets just because for me that feels like enough per workout. I feel like once I've done 11 sets of a body part hard, I'm fully pumped, I've done as much as I want. Or as much as I feel like is going to, let me stimulate growth or muscle maintenance in a cutting phase. So, whatever. But with biceps, 11 sets of curls. I'm just hitting the bicep. Tries, 11 sets of push downs and whatever else. Just hitting the tricep. But with back, even though it's a couple of different muscle groups, I still kind of count it as 11 sets for the whole back. Even though some of them are more lat focused and some are more trap focused. Which, it seems to be working, so I'm not going to fucking try to change it now. I'm just kind of thinking of food for thought. But, whatever. Me doing it this way, I always get a solid ass back pump, and clearly I've got a fucking big back, so it's working. I definitely am not going to be inclined to do any fucking deadlifts. Same logic with the bent over rows, but even more so, to an even greater extent. Because deadlifts heavy, you're really fucking working your glutes and lower back and hamstrings. And again, the name of the game with bodybuilding training is isolation. I wouldn't want to do a set of bicep curls if... Oh, no, what's another better example? There we go. When I'm doing back, I would not want to do a back movement where I'm feeling my biceps and my forearms do a lot of the pulling. That's why when I do back, I fucking wear straps so that I can kind of keep my forearms and biceps out of the equation and only work my lats and my traps and everything else going on back there. So same logic, deadlifts just, do whatever you want. I'm just saying. So I will say this sort of as a piece, as an opinion, as a piece of advice. I think you would probably build a bigger back doing a workout where instead of spending, 3 hard fucking sets worth of energy on deadlifts, doing 3 hard sets of deadlifts, I think it might be easier for you to build a bigger back just by focusing more so on pull downs and lats and traps. But that is not a scientific fact, that's just an opinion. Big ass deadlifters typically do have a big back. So at the end of the day, I mean, all these arguments can be made, but to an extent, they can also be refuted if the guy saying the shit is yoked. So, one more little thing before we get in there. That's your responsibility to kind of be able to figure shit out for yourself. I'm sure there's a percentage of you guys where I tell you not to deadlift, and you're thinking to yourself, man, what the fuck does this guy know? I love deadlifting. And that's good. If deadlifts fucking work for you, you're building a big back, fuck yeah, man, keep doing it. But that's just kind of my opinion. So let's just get in there, get back started, and then post-workout, I'm gonna break down the rest of the food that I'm gonna eat tonight. Alright, so the gym music is a bit loud. I might have to trim some clips or just mute them so it's not copywritten. But I mean, honestly, this video is going to be kind of long. Instead of just showing, every full set, maybe I'll just show a couple of reps of each one. But I already warmed up. Let's just do some fucking pull downs. Pretty basic start. So the stack is only 260. So I threw a plate on. I'll probably do a couple sets with the stack plus the plate. So that'll be 300. And then once I can't do the plate for at least 10 good reps, I'll just drop the weight down. The weight isn't the most important part, but, when you're fresh, I think your muscles are kind of primed to move a lot of weight, and I think it'll be conducive to gains. So let's just throw it around. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's do something else. So, I don't usually like this close grip handle, but I do like changing up the lift. So, I'll do at least a set with it. I'll still get a pretty solid stretch in my lats. But usually my critique with this particular handle is I can't get as good of a contraction. Because I feel like it kind of limits my range of motion a little bit to like here, rather than with a bar being able to get back here a little bit more. But it's still going to feel pretty good. So I'll throw at least around 1 with the stack. That platform's a little bit too far away. I keep bottoming out. I'm going to put these little fucking pieces of things, whatever, to add a little bit of a, to act like a spacer. Oh, fuck, assuming they... Does that fit? Phew. Oh, fuck yeah, barely fits. Perfect. I think. I hope I don't get hurt. I don't think I will. That's a good setup. Oh yeah, we're good. One more. On cable rows, I've been liking going to failure rather than try to swing and do extra reps. It does feel a little better for me to just try to let the range of motion gradually decrease until I can barely move it. But some movements I like swinging it. So let's move on to I think a pullover. So when I do back, usually I do an even mix of rows and pull downs, but I also try to like to go back and forth in between exercises. So a couple sets of pull downs once I feel like I've done enough, or if I don't like the movement of pull downs for one day, for whatever reason, I might just do one set and move on. But I finish with the pull downs, then I want to move on to rows, a little more upper back. Then I want to move on to pullovers, more lats again, just so I can kind of finish back day with a full pump, rather than like hitting all lats in the beginning and all mid back in the end. But single arm pullovers, I like them more than double arm. So I can, go kind of heavy, squeeze hard. Simple. Yeah. So finisher, I'm gonna do a lat focused drop set. So I'll pre-exhaust with pullovers. I'll do 5 sets, what am I saying? 5 reps with the right arm, 5 on the left, back and forth a couple times. And then I'll jump on the pull down just to burn out. And then we should be fucking fully pumped. Well, actually, I know I'm gonna be fully pumped, but that's just how I say it. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Whoa, fuck. I almost fucking tripped. Okay. Whew. Whew. All right. Let's go see what kind of pump that elicited. There we go. Exposure. Oh, that's even too far down. I'm not too crazy with it. So if the music's too loud, I'll just do a couple poses and I'll have to cut out all the commentary. But solid back day. How the fuck do I? Oh. That bench is fucking weird. It's got all sorts of moving parts. No, so solid fucking back day. I mean, I'm pumped. We're about to fucking see it. But I don't know. I've definitely gone harder. I think it was still beneficial, obviously. Going into the gym and literally doing any kind of exercise, even if it's just going through the motions, is better than not going at all. But for the most part, you're going to want to try to make it such that the majority of your lifts are fucking intense. Solid intensity, solid focus, really pushing yourself on all your reps. Right? I mean, that all fucking sounds like a good lift to me. So let's check the pump and then we can get in the car and go, go eat the rest of the food for tonight. I kind of forgot that that's the other focus of this video, not just the lift. But I can definitely tell I was feeling those fucking carbs. Was not feeling particularly exhausted. Like if I don't eat a lot of food before the lift, or let's say for whatever reason, scheduling wise,
I have to lift right in the morning after only like maybe one meal, I definitely feel weaker than if I've eaten a solid amount of carbs and I'm nice and well fed. So let's check the fucking 400 something gram carved up pump. God damn it. All right, we're already seeing some hinting of lat veins. Not a bad sign. I would love to turn off some of these lights, but the fucking light switches have child safety locks on them. I'm not gonna fucking electrocute myself. I'm just trying to see my pump better, right? I don't, whatever. So let's do the two only back poses, or the two main ones. Fucking front lat spread, front double bi, and then the same thing reversed. Really reach back here. Oh yeah, we're working with something. We're cooking with gas. Whew. Dude, the lats are feeling fucking tight. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get some back. Ooh. Actually, there is one more. Everybody loves this one. So I definitely fucking feel pumped. I can see my little, honestly, yeah, you can fucking see it right there. You see that little line on the lats? How there's kind of a bump in between my lats and my rear delt. That's like your fucking, oh, dude, holy fuck, it's really poking out. That's badass. That's like your rhomboids, like I was talking about in the car. How it's kind of in between your lats and your traps. I'm not going to tell you you can only work them specifically. It's probably not even fucking possible unless you're like a muscle control guru. But I will say that's another reason why I like the straight bar cable rows. Like the ones I was doing seated, where I had the close grip handle, I was feeling that a lot in my lats. But when I do the rows with like just a lat pull down bar, and I grab a little wider than shoulder width, right? When I'm doing the rows, I'm not really pulling so much down here. I've got my elbows more flared up, and I can feel my fucking mid traps and the rhomboids in there too. That little fucking thing really activate. So, given that the back is a pretty fucking big ass muscle, like I was saying in the car, it's going to be in your best interest to hit it in a variety of ways. Even like fucking different workouts. You know, I'll have one lift where I'm like just spamming pull downs, and I'll probably do like almost all lat focus movements. And some lifts, you know, I'll do mainly rows. But back will definitely, well, honestly, everything's going to fucking benefit from high variability in your training. But I'd say back especially, just because there's so much shit going on, you kind of have to throw the kitchen sink at it. For me, my back has always been pretty developed. I think doing all the gymnastics conditioning, which was mainly fucking calisthenics, so a lot of pull-ups and stuff, that probably helped. But, you know, if back's not your strong point, I'd say just fucking, I don't know, man, hit it harder. That's all I gotta say for anybody who has a weak point. Just hit it harder. I love a fucking crucifix, man. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Oh, wait a second. So, the intro workout drink, what was in the fucking hostile jug? Was that just water? Not exactly. It was fucking it was about a little more than a liter of flattened Sprite, which equates to 140 grams of carbs. So add that to the list. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. All right, let's get in the car. There we go. So lift complete. I was just thinking, a quick little anecdote before we get into the fucking post-workout shake. I was just thinking about how, I mean, the gym was fucking empty in here today. And I'm always talking shit. I'm always saying like, oh, you gotta go in even when you don't want to. You know, let's say you're fucking tired. You're gonna feel better if you do it. It's definitely easy to say in retrospect. Because even me, if I'm like, it's easy to say that because right now I'm fucking, high energy. I slept well. I ate all my food. Fucking, I feel strong, ready for a sick ass pump, and I'm hyped. So I got the perfect conditions for a good lift. But dude, I've had lifts where fucking I was considering just not even going in, and it's been like, ah, fuck. I'm so fucking tired, man. I'll just take a rest day. Blah, 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 blah. That's when you really got to kind of test yourself. And it's it's so much easier to say, do this shit. Oh, fuck. I got a headlight out. No, so it's easy to say this shit, right? But it's actually putting it into practice that's gonna fucking test you. And that kind of shit even tests me, man. But if you want it enough, then, you'll sort of feel better after overcoming that fucking mental block or, doing some shit you don't want to do. But the responsible lifter, if that's his shit, if this is your main shit, you're going to organize your whole fucking life around having good lifts on a consistent basis. So for the most part, I don't really even have to challenge myself to go to the gym. It's in my schedule. Honestly, the only times I ever think to myself, oh, geez, I should fucking just take a rest day or something, are if I'm fucking lazy with my sleep. Actually, that's honestly the main one. Or if I'm like actually sick, in which it's probably just more beneficial for me to stay home. But, yeah, whatever. Post-workout shake inbound, but stay hard. David Goggins style. That's when you gotta watch some David Goggins shit. The epitome of fucking going hard. Going hard when you don't feel like it. That's when you watch some Jocko motivation. That's when you go to that's when you go to fucking Machiavelli motivation and you watch like a Kevin Levrone or a Tom Platz training motivational edit. That shit'll get you hyped up. If you're on the fritz of like actually skipping a lift or some shit, and it's not for a legitimate reason, like, oh, I'm fucking I'm kind of sick today. I'm not gonna have a, like, if you're just being lazy and you know it, just watch some shit like that. Just, watch some shit that'll hype you up. So, I was thinking about trying to just say that kind of stuff, like transition into it smoothly after the shake. But honestly, once I start driving post-workout, I always forget what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I don't know what I was talking about in there. That was not 140 grams of carbs worth of fucking Sprite. It was 117. There we go. So let's look right here. We got how much food we've eaten so far, including this 100 grams of cluster dextrin and 2 scoops of some hostile chocolate whey. So that's about 50 grams of protein. There's fucking, I'll count it in the total, but there's a little bit of fat and carbs in the protein powder too, but I forget how much. But post-workout, the carbs are really what I'm after. The protein is just because as a lifter, you got to get your protein in throughout the day. So let's slam this mofo and get out of here. Yep. Is it weird that if you don't lick the lid, it's gonna fucking drip on you? I get comments that are like, "Where the fuck are you licking the lid?" You're just making a mess if you don't. Come on. All right. So, I forget how many calories I'm at. I need to like add all this shit up and post tomorrow. Damn, yeah, I really do need a new fucking headlight. That sucks. But yeah, I'll see what I'm at when I get home and base the post-workout meal on that. Honestly, I'm kind of just going for fucking calories, I wouldn't just fucking, I'm not so crazy that you would just drink some fucking olive oil for calories. That's absurd. But I don't really mind breaking food down into the basic components. Like, the fucking Sprite was just liquid sugar. Typically, I'd want to do like there's the fucking hostile intra, but I like Sprite sometimes. I'm just a Sprite fanatic. But usually intra-workout I do like an electrolyte drink, but that ramen plus the steak had a solid amount of salt on it, so had a little bit of a treat intra-workout instead. But, time to fucking go home and eat whatever the fuck I eat. We'll find out in a little bit. But yeah, that back day, dude, I don't know. The freak intensity level was not there. It was pretty intense. Like, I was definitely pushing myself. Like, most of those sets were pretty much approaching as effective as I could make them in terms of like the activation. Honestly, maybe I'm just saying it wasn't that good of a lift because I wasn't swinging so much. Yeah, I think typically I think I make the cable rows harder because instead of just taking my back and like my lats to failure like I was doing in this set, usually I kind of bend forward and like swing the way back and get a bunch of extra, basically force reps at the end. And I think that takes a little bit more wind out of me. So I still have a bit of ego in which I sort of base the intensity of my lifts. Well, not the intensity, but like I base the quality of my lifts based on like not just intensity of the sets, but also, the weight that's associated with them. Which, it's not to say that I don't like going heavy and think that going heavy isn't effective. My basic training philosophy for most muscle groups is do some heavy sets in the beginning when you're fresh and strong, obviously after a proper warm-up so you don't pull your shit. And then once you've basically done some damage, as it were, you get the idea of what I'm saying. 5 sets of those heavy ass pull downs, or however many I did, I don't even remember, plus those rows, my back was pretty much thrashed. So after that, all I wanted to do was really focus on squeeze, burning style movements, like those pullovers, and then the pullover drop set into lat pull down. So, I mean, fucking big ass pump at the end of it. So, another good lift under the belt. But I don't know. I just didn't feel as good as normal. Which honestly, I'd rather have that mentality than to have a bad lift and just say, well, I went in there. I did it. To a certain degree, I think I kind of hold myself to the standard at which that's beyond a prerequisite. That's like beyond a prerequisite. Like, obviously I'm going to go, that's not even a question. And then, where I kind of really judge it is based on, how it feels, how crazy the lift felt. Like that chest day the last video before this one, I was extremely satisfied with that lift. Even though, I didn't even do insane weight. I was only benching the 150s on the dumbbells, which, sure, 150s, that's fucking pretty freaky. But, translate that to the total weight in my fucking hands. Usually I rep out more than 315 for my top sets. So, yeah, I think maybe I'm gradually disassociating from my weight-centered ego. But, I still want to go heavy. Come on. That's not going to change. But it's never really an awesome feeling to hurt yourself or to pull something. Now, typically, you can kind of, I would say I sort of have like a spidey sense for if I'm doing something where I might get hurt. Like some days if I know everything feels off a little bit, or like let's say I'm benching and 225 is feeling a little weird on my shoulder, and like I do 2 reps of 315 as like the final warm up before I get started with the actual working set, and I rack and I'm okay, let's just do something else, let's go lighter, let's warm up my shoulders a little more, something like that. And that's definitely going to come with experience. The last thing you want to do is, and this goes for anybody, power lifter, weightlifter, bodybuilder, whatever. If you've kind of got a little bit of a sensation in the back of your mind, you're sort of bubbling up from your gut before you're about to do something where you're really pushing yourself to the limit, especially in terms of weight. You're like, oh, I'm not really sure. Probably in your best interest just to maybe back off. Don't do that shit. Because, I sort of preach so when it comes to injuries, I would say that anyone that's training, fucking hair in my mouth. Anybody that's training with pretty fucking serious intensity, like not 100% every lift. I mean, it's just not realistic. But you should want to approach that, right? But anybody who's taking their training very seriously, they're really pushing themselves. For the most part, you're probably going to tweak something eventually, because I've said this reference before. There's sort of a line. There's a line of intensity. Now, when I say intensity, I kind of mean weight. That's really kind of what I mean. Obviously, you're not really going to hurt yourself if you're doing an intense set of, bicep curls with the 30s, and you can still make that an insanely intense set. So I think I really mean weight. Obviously in a bodybuilding context, we're not trying to do 1 rep maxes. You're never going to see me do a 1 rep max. I see comments asking about it. Never going to happen. Just because it doesn't line with my goals, Actually, it contradicts them. I'm probably going to get fucked up. There's just no need. But so back to what I'm saying. In the realm of, pushing yourself to a solid, insane, strong working set of around 8 reps, and this is typically on compound lifts, where you're seriously, you got to get hyped up before this. You got to get hyped up before this set of squats or this set of incline bench or incline whatever. There's going to be a limit of weight which you'll be able to do where you're doing as much as you can. Like, let's say the line's right here. You want to approach it, push yourself as hard as possible, get a serious stimulus, but don't do so much weight, or don't try to do so much weight, or don't do anything in a unprepared state that would put you over this line, and then you're going to hurt yourself. Because then you got to fucking take a step back, take a break. In the worst fucking scenario, you're getting actually hurt. Like, I'd say for the most part, well, I guess worst case scenario is death. But let's assume you don't actually have a fatal injury. Worst case scenario is probably a serious fucking incapacitating tear of something somewhere, and you're fucked. You gotta get an actual surgery, you get the whole deal. It'll put you out forever. You do not want to go that far, for sure. And honestly, I mean, you never even want to get to the point where you have to stop a workout because you tweak something. But you don't want to be too far below that line of intensity either, because you're probably leaving some fucking gains on the table. So use your best judgment, of course. This is just going to come with experience. But you want to get close to riding that line. Or, well, that's kind of how I think about it. Because I don't want to, I don't want to leave anything on the table. When I do sets, I don't like doing, feeder sets where I do just 10 reps and leave a lot in the reserve and just take a break. Or, do my little rest and then do another set of 10, but I know I could have got 20. Like, that style of training, it just doesn't... I've done it before, and I get a pump. But I just don't really like it. Well, I still like it, but I don't really love it. And if you like what you're doing in the gym, if you like your training style, and it's effective, that's the fucking best case scenario. Because then instead of doing something that you don't like, right, instead of having to balance out, I don't really love this style of training, but it is giving me results. So instead of having to balance out this positive and negative, you get to say, oh, dude, this training is sick. I love this fucking shit. And you're getting results. Dude, that is how you fucking do it. Now, I think a lot of beginners kind of don't enjoy the training. Maybe they're not so experienced enough to do what they, like personally. I mean, they just don't fucking know. You're a beginner. You got to learn this shit. So until you kind of have gained a little bit more experience, I think a lot of people, and even just not mediocre, what am I trying to say? Moderate? Oh, there we go. Even intermediate lifters, I think they get caught in the state of, well, I don't want to go to the gym, but I do like the results it gets me. Well, I don't want to get out of shape, so I better go to the gym. No, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that mentality. But it would be much better if you like doing it and you like the results it got you. And I can't tell you the answer. I can't tell you exactly what that kind of workout routine is going to be for you, because you're your own fucking dude. You got your own, you got your own lore, you got your own preferences, all sorts of shit. So you can, you'd probably look to me for advice, for sure. Maybe copy some shit that I do, see if you like it. But at the end of the day, I think the best lifters are the ones, well, honestly, the best anybody's are the ones that, manage to figure out what works for them, in any realm of fucking life. Right? Figuring something out is just it gives you such a deeper understanding than doing something because someone told you so, right? I'm trying to think of an example, but um, you get the idea, right? If you figure something out for yourself, right, then you've gone through that process of learning it. So instead of just memorizing something or doing something because someone told you so, right, you can kind of actually understand why you're doing it, and then maybe tweak your approach because you can understand how the cause is going to result in the effect. That's not the most specific piece of advice, but you get the idea. Keep keep an open mind to new information. Try it out for yourself, and be able to say, okay, I like this type of curl. Whoa, I've never seen that style of pec fly before on the cables. Let me try it. Oh, that feels like shit. Not gonna do that. That's so much better than just saying, I saw I saw so and so do this, so I do it too. I'm not sure what it does, but he seems pretty smart, so I'll do it as well. You get what I'm saying? So, there was some cohesive thoughts in that car talk. Yeah, fuck yeah. Some of these, some of these I just fucking, I'm just rambling about fucking whatever. So, let's just get back to the house. Fucking, skip to, honestly, this might even be the last meal if I make it kind of a big one. And then I'm ready for bed. Cardio in the morning, and then I got fucking, I got thermodynamics in the morning. I gotta learn all about that shit. Oh my god. I tell you what, if you know anything about enthalpy, then you can relate to my frustration. But I don't know, I can always figure that shit out. That's not what we're here to talk about. Let's jump to the fucking next meal.
So back from the gym, showered, clean. It's irresponsibly late because I have to wake up for an 8:30 and do dude, I might even just do the cardio afterwards, just so I can get some extra sleep. But I was kind of slacking on the protein today. I was gonna eat, so I got a ribeye too when I went to Kroger, but I got that before I left. So I moved into school, and then I went back home for a couple days. Classes haven't started yet, but it's brown, so I'm fucked. So a big protein shake for the end of the night. So 75 grams of the just the hostile protein powder, and then I got a fucking blueberry bagel with a shit ton of cream cheese on it. So 75 grams of protein ish, a little bit of carbs and fats, 50 grams of carbs, and like I think it's pushing like 40 grams of fat in the cream cheese. This ended up being like a go-to breakfast for me back when I was in high school. I wasn't really like bulking, I was kind of just main gaining, but that was a pretty solid dent in my calories for the day. One in the morning, I just do plain bagel, ton of cream cheese, and like I couldn't even tell you how many little slices of salami. But dude, that one bagel could end up being like, well, 50 grams of protein. No, 50 grams of carbs, so 200. You could do, if you're really good about it, or if you make a thick one, you can have a fucking 700 calorie bagel right there. And it's fucking tiny. I don't know about salami with the fucking blueberry. That might be a little funky. And then at night, that's when I'll take my vitamins. I find it kind of weird. I get a lot of comments that are like, should I take my vitamins in the morning or when's the best time? I couldn't tell you. Even if there is a best time, I just fucking take it at night. So clearly you've seen the whole day's diet was not conventional in a fucking bodybuilding sense. It wasn't like 3 meals of fucking chicken and rice pre-workout. But, in my mind, I'm trying to hit my fucking macros. However the fuck you do it is, however the fuck you do it that works for you, fuck man, it's perfect. But when I start dieting down, I would never eat this fucking bagel. I would never eat this. This bagel right here is sitting in front of me. It's fucking. Let me do the math again. So two on. It's like it's 600 calories. If I've only got 2,500 calories throughout the day, I'm not going to eat anything this calorie dense. I'm going to be eating like, you know, turkey sandwiches with just mustard, some lettuce, and then keto bread, so it's low carb. Or I'm going to be doing like a bunch of fucking ground beef with zero sugar sweet baby rays. Oh my god. It's perfect. I'll do fucking. Well, I'll just show you when I diet, but it ends up being like pound of ground beef, like 95% lean. Cook it up, pour off the fat, whatever, and then mix that up with the 0-calorie baby rays with fat-free shredded cheese. Dude, that stuff is fucking. The macros are bananas with the shredded cheese because it's just like 9 grams of protein. Honestly, it's probably not like a complete protein. So when I plug into the fucking macro tracker, if I got like 20 grams of the fat-free cheese, which I don't even know, it's probably got all sorts of weird shit in it, but tastes sick and zero fat. But we'll get into that another day. So vitamins, I just take a night. I've got a whole little mix. Honestly, all you need is a fucking multivitamin. That should pretty much hit everything. I've got some extra calcium and magnesium and zinc in here. I've also got the Accutane taken with fats. That's good for you if you're doing that. I tell you what, if you go back fucking in the early videos, like days, honestly, probably like 1 through 100. This wasn't really a bulk transformation. This was a skin transformation. Don't worry, I'm getting my blood tested. Accutane has the potential to fuck you up. So that's definitely under dermatologist supervision. I couldn't imagine just doing one at once anymore. I'm not a complete freak. I remember seeing this clip of like Juji Mufu doing handfuls of them. Yeah, it's just kind of for fun. But I mean, if you can't handle pills, I guess I'm sure some of you are probably like that. I think you guys are probably grown up so you can swallow a pill. Just get a fucking gummy vitamin. End of the day, you get a sweet little treat before you go to bed, and that's the end of it. So I'm gonna sit here, eat the bagel, drink this shake, take my fucking creatine. I do that at night too, and then I'm going to bed. We're done. So I'm probably not gonna do that many of these. Honestly, I mean, it's the same shit every day. Maybe I'll do one. Well, at this rate, it's going to be one every fucking year. But I'll definitely have to do one just to show the fucking contrast between the bulk diet and like the actual, fat loss calorie deficit diet. Because, I mean, I really can't stress enough how different the fucking food looks. So, solid back pump. Did my cardio this morning. I know you probably didn't do it. For me, when I'm extra busy, like, I'm going to have an 8:30 tomorrow. Maybe I don't want to fucking ride my bike to the gym. Because, I mean, for me, the rec center's like 2 blocks away. But, yeah, maybe I don't want to fucking go there and then walk in and scan my card. Walk up. I can just fucking jump on the seated bike that I got at home. It's not as fun, though. I kind of like the ambiance of the gym. And I think I just probably like being in the gym in general. But that's it. Fucking see you next time, goddammit.